Hello folks, this is Sullla once again. Welcome to another video for League of Legends. In this video we're going to be taking a look at something that's become quite popular in competitive play. You might have seen this in some of the promotional games for the LCS and in some of the Battle of the Atlantic games. We're going to be taking a look at top lane Mundo, something that has emerged in the preseason of Season 4, where we are right now, as a very strong option in top lane. So yes, not being played as a jungler, but being played in the top lane. The basic idea behind top lane Mundo is that you run 30 points in the defensive tree. Now, I don't know if that's the case for this game. This is Mundo being played by Cruzerthebruzer, who is the new top laner for, I believe, Team Dignitas in North America. Have to check back on that. And for whatever reason, if you've been watching my channel, you might have noticed before that a lot of these videos don't start at the 0 mark on the clock. Never really sure why that is, but we can set that really easily. Anyway, the idea behind Mundo is that, as I said, you put all of your points, all 30 mastery points, in the defensive tree, and then Mundo just, after he gets enough levels, he pretty much becomes unkillable. And I'm not 100% sure if that's the case here. Now, it doesn't look like that's the case here. Looks like Cruiser has some points in the offensive mastery tree. It's probably 921 or something like that. But in any case, Mundo just, he builds a Sunfire Cape, he builds a Spirit Massage, he builds Warmogs, and he just becomes like completely unkillable with his ult up. Yeah, and running barrier teleport in this game, not even, wow, look at this, is somebody gonna get pulled over the wall here? Very interesting. We actually have a jungle invade going on from the blue team as well here. But yeah, we're going to keep an eye on Mundo and watch him up in this top lane and just see sort of what makes him effective with this build, because this has become popular in competitive play and it seems to be pretty effective in solo queue as well. So anyway, let's get the matchups lined up down here on the screen and we'll be good to go from there. It looks like it's going to be Mundo against Irelia here in the top lane. And they actually have, ooh, this is kind of interesting, looks like they actually see this red buff invade going on here from the enemy team's Strungle Lee Sin. We do have the Taipei Assassin skin for Dr. Mundo here. Nice skin. I believe you actually can't buy this anymore. This was the Season 2 Championship skin. It was offered a little while back. Or actually, no. It looks like Irelia is going to be mid, and we're going to have Teemo, the Happy Elf Teemo, in the top lane. So that's a little bit different. I actually have Teemo, and this is, by the way, this is an AP Teemo. That's why is that Doran shield stuck on the screen? There we go. Okay, was stuck there. Yeah, this is an AP Teemo being played actually by a fairly well-known Teemo player, the Rain Man, a former top laner for Team Solo Mid way back in Season 1 and the beginning part of Season 2. All right, so let's take a quick look at Dr. Mundo's skill, shall we? Starting with the Doran Shield, an item that makes a lot of sense, starting item for Mundo. Plus 100 health. Plus 10 health regen per 5 seconds. Blocks 8 damage from champion basic attacks. It's a very good item to go against. Wow, look at that. Irelia almost died there mid. Very good item to pick up against Teemo because it gives you extra health regen, which health regen is kind of what Mundo's gameplay is based around. And it also reduces the damage from Teemo's basic auto attacks. And Teemo will be auto attacking a lot. So the 51 AD on Teemo getting reduced by what? By 8 every single time. Gets an auto attack. But Mundo is tanky enough that he really is not going to take that much damage from Teemo's autos. Well, I mean, he will take some harass, but not too badly. Okay, so Dr. Mundo's passive, I'll go ahead and highlight this. Adrenaline Rush. Mundo regenerates 0.3% of his maximum health every second. And that, of course, scales very well throughout the game. So basically, you want to stack a lot of health on Dr. Mundo. Because the more health you stack, the more health regen he gets. And this becomes more and more ridiculous as the game goes on. As he gets up over 4,000 health, as he typically does. Towards the end of the game. So you build all sorts of items that have extra health regen, and Mundo will just keep, regenerating health over and over and over again. Let's see, you can't see the health regen. Does the health regen pop up on here? Let's see, yeah, here's the health regen per 5. 42 health regen per 5. That's what? That's about 42 per 5, so what is that? That's like 8 every second, roughly. Yeah, it's a lot of health regen, to say the least. And there's some action going on elsewhere on the map, but we'll keep the focus here on the top lane right now. The skill that Mundo's using the most right now is his Q. This is kind of his bread and butter skill. This is his cleaver, although with this particular skin, it is the Summoner's Cup Summoner's Cup trophy that's being thrown around. But this is Cleaver, costs 60 health on a 4-second cooldown. Mundo hurls his Cleaver, deals magic damage equal to 18% of the target's current health, also slows them by 40% for 2 seconds. Half the health cost is refunded if the Cleaver hits a target. So if you hit something, it only costs 30 health. This is his main harassment tool. This is the skill that Mundo uses the most. Mundo's maxes first. It gives him a range skill. And so every time he hits with a Cleaver, he's getting 30 health back. Now, note that the Cleaver does deal magic damage. Most of Mundo's damage is magic. He actually does not deal that much physical damage. I know he looks like the Incredible Hulk, so you'd think he deals physical damage, but no, Mundo mostly deals magic damage. So if you're not used to playing against Mundo, keep that in mind. You want to go Spirit Visage against him in the top lane most of the time as your first item, not a Sunfire Cape, because you want to get that magic damage, or magic resistance, excuse me. Okay, typically the skill that Mundo players max up second is Burning Agony. Interesting skill. This is a toggle on-off switch. There it is right there. It is the flames that pop up. Costs 10 health per sec. Mundo deals magic damage to nearby enemies. And it also reduces the duration of disables on Mundo by 10%. So it also gives him free tenacity as well. You can use it for farming. You can use it just for damage in a team fight, but deals damage to everyone around him. And costs health per second over time. So right there, Cruiser popped on the skill to get a last hit under the tower. Right now, Teemo is actually winning this matchup. And right there, the barrier pops out. Is the barrier going to be enough to survive the Ignite and the Teemo Poison? Yes, it is. So a very nice use of Ignite by Cruiser right there. And he's going to go back to base to buy, and presumably he's going to use his teleport to get back into here. There's going to be a wave pushing his tower. Let's see, there it is. Here comes the teleport. That's barrier and teleport used to perfection right there to get back to the base. And what's the first item purchase that came out? A Giant's Belt and a whole bunch of health pots. So we mentioned why Mundo has the incentive to stack health. Wants to just build lots and lots of health so he gets more and more health regen and allow him to survive this laning matchup. We'll see what this Giant's Belt goes into. Could be for Warmogs, could be for, it's probably for a Sunfire Cape would be my guess. Although Spirit Visage might be the best item against Teemo early on, but probably had just enough item to pick up, probably had just enough gold to pick up the Giant's Belt. Look at this, this is an interesting item. We actually see a Frost Fang coming out from the Rain Man. That's a very odd item purchase for a solo laner. Very interesting, because remember, killing a minion disables this passive for 10 seconds. I wonder what he's thinking by picking that up. That's a very, very strange pickup on a non-support champion. Anyway, so Cruiser did a nice job of surviving that initial attempt at a kill from Rain Man's Teemo. And now he's been able to use his teleport to avoid missing out on any minions. And he's actually ahead in this matchup right here. Ahead 46 to 36 in the minion kill score. And he should be slightly ahead in gold too. Yeah, he's ahead by about 100 gold right now. Not a huge amount, but is ahead. Okay, so let's go through the other skills on Dr. Mundo here. Well, we've got a second. His E skill, this is typically his 1-point skill. People generally don't put many points in this until the late game. It's called Masochism, costs 25 health, increases attack damage by 40 for 5 seconds, and gains an additional attack damage ratio for each percentage of health he's missing. This is a skill that actually becomes pretty good late game. He actually gets quite a lot of AD when you max out this skill. And by the way, we had a team fight down in bottom lane. Vi ganking bottom lane, picking up a double kill. Very nicely done by Master. Well, who's the Vi player there? By Beautiful Korean, the Vi player. Didn't see that one, but it was a double kill, and it's going to lead them to getting Dragon. So, as we said, this is a skill that you typically just put 1 point in lane. You won't see, it's not that useful for laning, generally speaking, because Mundo's not going to be standing there just auto-attacking someone while the laning phase is going on. But this does actually make him pretty strong in the late game, because I believe he gets 90 AD with 5 points in the skill. And anyway, there is indeed that Dragon pickup. And there's a little bit of action going on down there, but main thing was the Dragon pickup. So, like I said, 1 point in this skill early. You want to max Burning Agony second because of it's generally more useful in team fighting, and the Cleaver is what people always max first because it increases the damage that you do, and this is his main harassment skill on a short cooldown too, only 4 seconds. Finally, let's highlight his ultimate here. Sadism costs 20% of current health. Mundo regenerates 40% of his maximum health over 12 seconds, also gains movement speed, and it is on a fairly short cooldown, 75 seconds. With more points in the skill, the cooldown is reduced, and you get more of your maximum health back. I believe it's it's either, I think it's like 75 or 80% of your maximum health back when you have 3 points in the skill. We'll see. We should get up to level 16 later on. But this is what makes Mundo so unkillable. There it is. Just pop the ult right there. So now Cruzer's going to regenerate his health and get the movement speed boost. It's on a short cooldown. You can use this a lot while laning. And while he has his ult running, he just gets ridiculous amounts of health regen back. And it can make Mundo just about unkillable. So, you know, you pop your ult, you get the movement speed, you're just chasing people down, tossing cleavers left and right. And it's extremely difficult to kill Mundo. You pretty much have to use Ignite on him if you're going to try to kill him. And it makes him really, really tanky and unkillable in team fights, is the basic idea. So anyway, those are his skills. As we said, Mundo, his weaknesses are he doesn't really have much in the way of crowd control. He just has his cleavers, which are only a slow, not a stun, no hard crowd control, nothing like that. But he is really tanky. He's very good at chasing people down. Ghost is a very popular summoner's choice on Mundo. It synergizes very well with his ult. We don't see that here in this particular game, but it is an option that's popular. And as we said, he tends to scale pretty well into the late game. Cruzer using his Burning Agony right there to farm these minions. It actually looks like Cruzer's going to scale up Masochism second on Mundo instead of scaling up Burning Agony, which is a little bit interesting because most of the time I've seen Mundo players do this the opposite way. But I suppose he probably knows better than me since he's the one playing in a high elo game and playing in the professional scene, and I am not. Anyway, so what's this? We do have more fighting going on in bottom lane. It's a double kill picked up in bottom lane by the blue team as Lee Sin goes down there for a gank. We still haven't actually seen that much action up here in the top lane, but there is the Mundo ult getting popped. And really, Mundo's just waiting for more levels, waiting for more points in his skills, waiting to get stronger. And should outscale this Teemo, should outscale the Rain Man's Teemo. Rain Man's playing an AP Teemo, and that's kind of a lane bully, build, but it doesn't really scale that well as the game goes on. Basically, when you build Teemo like this, very irritating and very difficult to lane against, but doesn't really do that much as the game goes on. In mid, looks like Big Fat LP, Big Fat GG, is winning that mid matchup against Aurelia, or at least got another kill there in mid, and is playing his Ziggs, using the Snow Day skin right there. In the wider game, red team's ahead by about 2,000 gold right now. They look to be in good shape because they got that first dragon, but still haven't had any towers go down or anything like that. In the meantime, right now, Cruzer is just pushing this top lane. He's sitting on about 2,000 gold, so we'll see what he chooses to buy when he goes back to lane. Has both his summoners back up now, and let's see what he's going to choose to pick up right here when he goes back to base. Also does have that teleport available if he wants to go down to other lanes, if he wants to teleport into a fight. Okay, so yep, there it is, going for the Spirit Massage. See the Spectre's Cow coming out. That's going to provide the health and the magic resistance, and that passive where you get extra health regen per 5 every time you take damage from an enemy champ. Very useful item against Teemo. There is a teleport coming in. He's actually going to teleport in behind the bottom lane of the blue team right here. So yeah, in comes the Mundo, popping his ult for the bonus movement speed, using Burning Agony. It's just a question of who does he want to chase down. Looked like the initial focus was on Caitlyn. It's a nice use, oh wow, really nice use of some of the Thresh abilities for disengage, but Blitzcrank is going to land a pull. Vi is going to use the ultimate on Lee Sin, and I don't know if they're going to be able to get Lee Sin or Thresh right here. Yeah, they're going to be able to chase down Lee, and now the Jinx Rocket's going to pick up Thresh, and it looks like that's going to be 2 kills, 2 for 0, a very nice teleport coming out from Mundo, and they've actually got Vi in all kinds of trouble too, because Vi is stuck behind the tower. Blitz is going to land the pull. That's a 3 for 0 on the kills right there. It looked initially like some nice disengage by Thresh and by Lee Sin using that Thresh, using the Thresh Flay and the Lantern to try and escape, but ultimately not enough. So even though Rain Man's Teemo got some pressure up here in top lane, that was very, very well done by Cruzerthebruzer's Mundo, and that was, of course, a big-time win for Red Team, picking up 3 kills for 0 and getting the bottom tower off of that. And it looks like they're not even going to lose their tower, which I think is a mistake. I think that Teemo should have stayed in top and taken this tower because blue team needed to get some kind of gold back in exchange for that 3-kill play in bot. You know, if Mundo's going to leave top, then punish him by taking his tower, but instead went and claimed blue buff and didn't get top tower. So I think that probably was a mistake. I think they should have gotten top tower out of that. But again, this is solo queue. It's not exactly coordinated or anything like that. And in any case, Cruzer's gone and picked up that kill, and he's actually put a second point in Burning Agony, so maybe he is going to rank up Burning Agony second. I'm not sure. I have not watched this replay all the way through. I just checked to make sure that it didn't crash. Just checked to make sure it didn't crash when I loaded it. And anyway, so we do have Cruiser back in lane, landing that cleaver, and let's see, oh, he's actually popping the ult. Let's see, is he going to try to go for this kill? And right there, landing the cleaver still, forces out the flash, and Teemo trying to run away, actually baits out the ignite as well. So Teemo using both summoners, just needing to run away from Mundo. You see the big scary tank running after you, and yeah, forces Teemo to use both summoners there. And now Teemo's going to be a lot more vulnerable. Happy Elf Teemo, not so happy right there. And it looks like this laning matchup is just starting to shift in favor of Mundo right now. There's the Burning Agony coming out once again. Can Teemo manage to get away? The move quick has been popped. And it looks like Teemo's going to be okay. But yeah, just consistently getting harassed out. There is actually a dragon fight going on over here. Vi is going to get shut down right there. And the dragon was actually taken by the blue team as well. So that's largely evened up this game. I mean, it's still a lead for red team, but not as much as they had before. So looked like a disastrous dragon sequence down there in the dragon pit for red team. But in any case, so the match is going to be evened up a bit. But in this top lane, the matchup we're really focused on right now, in the top lane, the matchup that we're focused on, Mundo appears to be just starting to snowball ahead. And I really don't think this is actually a great matchup for Teemo to begin with. The whole idea behind the AP Teemo thing is he's very good against squishies. You can see built the Morellonomicon for the cooldown reduction, has the Sork shoes. AP Teemo is very good at bullying around squishy champions in mid, but I don't feel like Teemo's very good against tanks, not in laning phase. So getting matched up against Mundo is probably not the best. In any case, though, now they've swapped up the matchup. Now the matchup is up against Aurelia, and Aurelia with blue buff, and Aurelia who's gone Blade of the Ruined King, which is probably a pretty good pickup against Mundo because it makes it easier to cut down tanks. You've got that basic attack steal 5% of current health and bonus physical damage, so it's good for, makes that useful for shredding tanks. Anyway, so there is action going on elsewhere. Anyway, now out comes the Mundo ultimate, and Cruiser going to actually turn this fight around because he does have help from Vi, and so that's going to be another kill picked up right there. The Aurelia player, Travipu, went in, didn't realize that Mundo actually had support from the Vi player, so easily picking that up. And by the way, there is another kill in bottom lane. A lot of focus has been in this bottom lane from both teams, really. Both junglers have been living down there a lot. But overall, it's actually pretty even right now. Actually, down just about a 500 gold lead. And Cruiser is sitting there taking the tower, but he's Mundo. Apparently doesn't really care about that. Is now 2-0-1 on the game and starting to get some pressure on this top tower. Nobody up here. Aurelia slowly walking back, but this tower will go down if Mundo wants it to. Doesn't look like he does, so it's going to take more damage from the minions, but looks like the tower will stay up for right now. And Cruiser's going to go back to buy with 2,100 gold in his pocket. One of the higher gold. Nobody's really that far ahead in gold. Everybody's pretty even. I think Jinx has the most gold right now, largely due to those team fights. And Mundo even did get a blue buff off of that. So, first item finished is actually the Sunfire Cape, probably because Aurelia has swapped up here to top lane. Didn't need to go for the Spirit Visage. But that's sort of the basic build on top lane Mundo, is some combination of Sunfire Cape and Spirit Visage. You finish both of those items. Which one you get first just depends on who you're laning against. And right now, Vi is heading back up to top lane again. Looks like they want to gank Aurelia yet again, and Aurelia does not seem to be aware of it. She is in all kinds of trouble, trying to dash away to minions, just needs to land up, and we see the Vi ult coming out, and we actually see the kill landed by Big Fat Gigi in mid using the Ziggs ultimate. So yeah, they are picking on that Aurelia, and she's pretty... a bit underfarmed right now, only 102 minion kills. Does have quite a few champion kills, but only level 10, so starting to get out-leveled, a little bit far behind in terms of experience. And in bottom lane, there's another fight going on. Jinx picking up the kill. Jinx resets in operation. That's a nice sap. And the Jinx player, Bloody Quan, I think the name is. Yeah, Bloody Quan is going to get that double kill. So it looks like red team's starting to snowball their lead a little bit. They were ahead, then they kind of lost their lead. Now they're trying to get it back once again. Does Mundo have his ult up? No, but it will be up relatively soon. And check out the health bar here for how much health regen. He has got 90, what is it? Where's the health regen? 86 health regen per 5 right now. And yes, that number's going up and down constantly. Meanwhile, Teemo's going to pick up a kill. He's trying to run away. probably not going to be able to make it out of this. Drop in the mushrooms, but I really don't think this is going to happen, and no, not able to get out. Aurelius back down here. Ziggs has joined in the fight. That's a really nice satchel charge coming out from Big Fat GG, and so that's going to be a kill. Meanwhile, in top lane, Cruiser has popped his ult. Looks like he wants this tower. Going to get kicked backwards by the Lee Sin player. Oh, Jonathan. Looks like he really wants this tower. I don't know if this is the smartest decision. Getting very, very low. I know you're tanky as Mundo, but I'm just not sure that this is going to work out right here. And Mundo down. Yeah, Mundo goes where he pleases, but even Mundo can't tank that much damage. I really don't think that was necessary. I think they could have gotten the tower pretty easily on the next push in top lane, but gives away a kill rather needlessly. And yeah, Lee Sin's going to pick that one up. So that, I don't know. That may have been just solo queue mindset in operation. Wanting that tower right now. So, although Red Team does get that tower, I don't think he really needed to die to give that up. And because Cruzer's dead, that means that it looks like they're going to lose this top tower in the counter trade. So not a very good trade, to say the least. That was not a particularly good play there. That's the biggest mistake that Cruzer's made in this game. In any case, though, he has managed to finish the Spirit Visage. This is a perfect item for Mundo. It gives him health, magic resist, more health regen, more cooldown reduction, and increases self-healing, health regen, lifesteal, and spell vamp effects by 20%. So synergizes perfectly with his ultimate and his passive, and he'll just be regenerating even more health with this. So this is pretty much a must-get item on Mundo because it works with his passive and it works with his ultimate. Yeah, I can see now with 2 points in the ultimate, Mundo gets 50% of his max health back, and I believe that goes to 60% when you get the 3rd point in the skill. And Cruzer's actually ranking up his W and his E together. He's putting a point in the skill at the same time. So not maxing one skill over the other, just getting points in both at the same time, which is kind of odd. You typically don't see that very often in this game. So there was a kill on top lane. Vi was killed in top lane. Oh, the grab onto Kate. That's kind of trouble. And the chomper's coming out. Cruzer's going to claim that kill, but really set up by Master Fiends, the Blitzcrank player. Very, very nicely done. The pull, the chompers from Vi, the zap for the slow on Thresh as he chases, and we'll see if that turns into a dragon for this team, for the red team here. Looks like that's what they're moving over towards, and we can now see the health bar on the dragon after the most recent patch. Easy to see that. And looks like this is going to be a pretty easy dragon pickup, despite the fact that Vi was dead. So Vi being dead did not cost them, did not end up costing them that dragon. And Teemo doing what Teemos do, which is to sit in top lane and push. We'll see how effective that proves to be. In any case, though, Mundo has pretty much reached the point where he starts to become virtually unkillable. Not completely unkillable, but very, very difficult to take him out. We actually have a bit of a fight going on right here. Lee Sin getting caught too far forward. He is going to manage to get the kill on the Ziggs player right there. All kinds of stuff being used on Mundo. He has been ignited. He has been exhausted. He's still running away under the tower. Barrier comes out. Are they going to be able to get this? Yes, they do. So right after I say Mundo practically unkillable, he does actually get taken down by 3 members of the enemy team, but that has forced the blue team to go very deep here, and we'll see if they're going to be able to escape. Looks like they will, because they actually got 4 kills there, a 4 for 2 in the extended fight. So they were, in fact, able to burst down Mundo right there and get the kill despite him, well, being pretty tanky overall in the game. So that was a good sequence there for the blue team. Able to pick up those kills. They're still behind in the game, but not by as much of a margin as they were before. Let's see who has the most gold in the game right now, shall we? Right now, it looks like Jinx still has the most gold. Ziggs being very close. Mundo a little bit further behind in this matchup. On the other team, Teemo actually has the most gold, has the most minion kills at the 170 right there. And the jungle, and after that, it's pretty close between the other 3 solo laners. So that's where we stand right now between these different sides. Yeah, Teemo actually having the strongest game for the blue team, at least in terms of gold generation. And we'll see where that goes from there. Yeah, more action in mid right now. More action in mid. And right now, Cruzer's Mundo is split off the bottom lane. Note the boots that he's picked up. He actually went for Ninja Tabby. Apparently, doesn't feel like there's enough magic damage to necessitate the Merc charge. Anyway, teleporting into this team fight, we can see a fight, and this is going very, very well for the red team. They actually managed to go 3 for 0 in that fight, and they're still pushing. So the question is, do they want to push down mid, or do they want to go for Baron? You can see the pings coming out on Baron, and that feels like a good call because there's no jungler alive on the enemy team. They don't have any smite up right now, And right now, Ziggs is actually lurking here, waiting to pick somebody off if they go in. Let's see. So we did see the sweeper being used, the sweeping lens. And, well, it's going to be very difficult for blue team to try and steal this if they're going to try to come in. Yeah, Teemo getting all kinds of projectiles tossed at him. Baron's down to 3,000 health, 2,000, down to 1,000. And they're going to be able to pick this up. Vi just needs to hit her smite. She does. And that's going to be a kill right there. Oh, the Vi ult coming out onto Teemo. He will go down. Not able to escape. The zap, no, not going to hit on Kate. She flashes away. So that's a Baron picked up and a 4 for 0 in the extended fight. No, actually, no, not going to turn out quite that well. Looks like Jinx staying around a little bit too long in that fight right there. So Jinx will go down, loses the Baron buff, and blue team on the push. Yes, these solo queue games, always a little bit wild and crazy. They're not the same as the rank 5 games. If you watch the rank 5s game I did, a lot more coordinated. So this middle tower is going to go down. Blue team is pushing. Mundo in the top lane. Cruiser getting some damage on this top lane tower. Let's see how far blue team wants to keep pushing this, because red team is back healing at the fountain and going to be in a position to counter push right here. So it's a tower going down in top lane, a tower going down in mid, 2 inner towers being traded. It's a pretty good response by blue team though. Pretty good response. And Cruiser is now all alone in top lane. He is going to have to be very careful here. He has popped his ult, though, and is he going to be able to survive this? Does he have his barrier back up? No, barrier is not up. Oh, Cruiser's just regenerating so much health, though. And it looks like he is going to run out of this fight. Despite the Ignite being used on him by Irelia. Yeah, he's actually going to be okay. So there's Mundo for you. When he has Baron buff and his ult run, yeah, he's got, what is this? 219 health regen per 5. He's got Baron health regen. He has the Perseverance Mastery in the defensive tree. He has that Spirit Visage. He just picked up another Giant's Belt. You just can't kill Mundo. He becomes so much health regen. It's just almost impossible to kill him. So even though it looked like a really dangerous situation there, not able to get the kill, and Teemo and Irelia actually out of position to deal with this defense in mid because they were chasing after Mundo in top. So Mundo setting up that play in mid lane with his pressure in top lane. So with the Baron buff in hand on most of the red team, they're able to grab that inhib in mid, and now rotating smoothly down to bottom lane. Going to grab this tower as well. And oh, they're gonna grab that pull. No, Kate able to escape. Looked for a second like she was gonna get grabbed. Not so much. They maybe should wait until Mundo gets here, but they do have Mundo over here, and it looks like Cruiser wants to pick a duel with the Rain Man. Does he have his ult up? Yes, he does. So that ult on a short cooldown. Rain Man dodges the cleaver, but again, don't think he's going to be able to get out of this one, and he is indeed going to go down. So Teemo not going to survive, and there's just not a whole lot he could do. Look at that health regen again. Plus 100 was his plus 24, 24, 24, 54. Just so much health regen. You just can't kill Mundo. And he has about 150 armor and MR. So down goes another inhibitor, and this game looks like it's rapidly coming to a conclusion. And no, actually red team decides, you know what, we'll just be cautious here. We're going to do things the careful way. We're not going to try to dive the Nexus turrets. Instead, it looks like they're going to back out and look to take down this turret in top lane, which actually is the smarter play. Just to back, use the gold that they have, and then look to shove in top tower. So, a little surprised. Oftentimes, the people in solo queue will just dive the double towers, dive the Nexus towers, but you really shouldn't be doing that when you can just, be smarter. Wait a little bit longer and then finish out the game. Right now, Vi actually in a little bit of trouble, though. Does have some Zig support right here. So, let's see. It looks like they might turn around this fight onto Oh Jonathan. Oh Jonathan, indeed, the Vi ult going over the wall. And is he going to be able to escape? No. Mundo says, thank you very much. I'll pick up that. Here's a cleaver in the back of your noggin. And yeah, so Lee Sin chasing a little bit too far. Oh, Jonathan, indeed. Jonathan not going to be too happy with that result. Anyway, so we do have one more item being picked up here by Cruzerthebruzer. He has picked up a Warmog's plus 1,000 health. And it also restores 1% of maximum health. Restores 1% of max health every 5 seconds. So even more health regen. Now has 3,959 health. And yeah, he's got a lot of health regen. Lot of health regen right now. The ult, I'll highlight it. 3 points in the skill. At max rank, regenerates 60% of max health over 12 seconds. And 35% movement speed. So yes, gains more movement speed. It's 15%, 25%, 35% with points in the skill. And it is only on a 52-second cooldown because has 30% CDR, 30% cooldown reduction. due to the Spirit Visage and due to, I'm assuming, Masteries. Alright, so right now, red team is in very strong position. They really just need to get in and finish this off. The Mundo ult has been popped yet again. Misses the cleaver right there. Thresh trying desperately to get out of this one. The Jinx Rocket's going to pick him up. Kate now trying to run away. Can they chase this down? Ziggs Bomb comes in along with Jinx getting the double kill right there. And that looks like this should be it. Teemo did pick up a shutdown on Vi, but that's well away from the fight. You can't really be fighting up by the blue buff when your Nexus is getting killed, and that's going to be it. So, finishing off this one, a 5-7 stat line on Mundo right there. And yeah, Cruiser sending Mundo where he pleases in this one. So, hopefully a good example of a top lane Mundo and how that works. We also had some very strong Ziggs play in mid lane from Big Fat GG in this one, and a nice Vi game from Beautiful Korean. Actually set up a lot of plays. The bottom lane was a little bit rougher, but they got quite a few kills as well. Anyway, overall, hopefully that was an interesting way of seeing another build, seeing what top lane Mundo looks like. As I said, it's been popular in the competitive scene, and he's pretty simple to play too. You pretty much just run around, pop your ult, and throw cleavers. It's kind of a fun champion to play. So if that's something that appeals to you, feel free to give it a try. In any case, once again, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. If people watched the Civ 4 stream over the weekend, hope you enjoyed that. Going to probably try to finish that over this next upcoming weekend, so stay tuned to the channel, give you more information on that. I'll post when I'm going to be doing the finishing stream. Until next time, have a great day, have a happy new year, and I'll see you guys in 2014.